Hello, I'm Jonathan M0JSX and thanks for joining me again in this video. Now, a few months ago, if not longer, Callum from DX Commander sent me a DX Commander Expedition, which I've used it a couple of times but never actually filmed and never put on camera. And then this last week, Callum has launched the new EZY Clamps for the DX Commanders, which make, particularly the Expedition, makes putting them up and taking them down a lot easier. So, here's my plan for today. My plan for today is to build the DX Commander Expedition from its sort of packed down state and sort of time how long it takes to put up with the new EZY Clamps, and hopefully, if all goes well, then make a few contacts. But first, we're going to go back in time about 2 days where I show you how I made one of the EZY Clamps for my kit. So, welcome down to the floor. I was going to do this portion outside, but it's currently raining and I want to try and get this bit recorded fairly quickly, so we're going to do it here. Now, I have already done a practice run, so I've already made up the EZY Clamp for the base section. So the base into, well, the first section, if you want, into the very bottom section, I've already done that one, so I know this method works. So I'm going to do one for the next section up. So this is basically, so if we call the sort of bottom bit part 1, got part 2, so this is part 3 going into part 2. So I'm going to give that a nice pull out, as we know to do, nice little twist, and we know it's out. Second thing we've got, as you would have seen in Callum's video, is the EZY Clamp itself, and I've got the wing nut version, so I'm going to pop that in and give it until it clicks, which it does. It's nice positive click action. There you go, nice positive clicks out as well, and then that works. Next thing I'm going to do is pull that around and get it started going in. Now, in Callum's video, he shows you can clip them to cut them to start with if you wanted to. I'm choosing not to because I think it might potentially just make it a little bit harder to thread it on. You can see the end of it is nicely sort of shaped for going through the hole, and I have a feeling that if you were to cut it first, it wouldn't be impossible, but it certainly could be harder to get it through. So I'm just choosing not to, and I'm just going to suffer the consequences of having to turn the thumb or the wing nut quite a lot. So I'm going to do this, and when we're back to a point where I can cut it, we'll come back. Starting to bite on the pole, so we'll give it just a few more turns. Going to get sort of at that angle that Callum had it in his video. Can't really see it here. I'll lift up the camera in a second and show you, but there we go. We are. It's really starting to get hard or tight now. Let's give that a few final turns. And there we go. That's not going to move. There we go. No, that's, well, a little bit of movement, but certainly if you're, as this is an expedition, I'd be happy with that. So we've got that tightened, but we've still got the long part on it. So in Callum's video, he recommended getting it as tight as you want it. So just give it another sort of, there we go. Let's say that's as tight as I want this one. And he said to undo 6 half turns. So let's do that. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's now nice and loose and easily slides off the pole, which is good. So next thing I'm going to do is chop off a good section of this. Now, I don't know where is the proper place to chop it, whether I should be leaving quite a bit just in case. I'm going to choose to cut it fairly tight up, but I'm also mindful of the fact that I'm going to be coming here with a flame. So I'm going to do that section, I think. I'll tell you what, I'll go with that section. Now, I haven't got a big pair of cutters, so I'm going to do it in 2 stages. So I'm going to do one cut there, and then just sort of work it across the groove. I'm choosing to actually go for a groove rather than between them, make it a little bit easier for myself. And there you go, got the cut. And that edge is sharp, as Callum highlighted in his video. Now, in Callum's video, he had one of those fancy little flamethrower things that often, I think they use in I don't know, I think they might use them in pastry baking. I don't really know. I am just going to use a Bogo standard lighter. Now, here is my advice. If you're going to do this, try and do it outside, or certainly do it somewhere very well ventilated. It does cause a little bit of a smell. It's not too bad. I've got the window open here, so I'm going to be okay. So I'm just going to light my flame, bring it up there. It's going to melt off that very edge, but gives it a quick bubble and let it cool for just a moment. But that is the sharp edge taken off, which is the idea. You could certainly do that with a file. That's very much quicker and it's very much easier than doing that. And of course, that still works. Okay, so I've laid out all of the bits that make up the DX Commander. I'm sure you've all seen this before, but I'm going to quickly go through it. So I've got the DX Commander Expedition pole itself. So this is 10 meters when fully erect, less than a meter, about 60 or so centimeters when collapsed. I keep mine with both the driven plate and the radial plate attached. If you want to, you can remove those every time. I just find it easier to carry it and then to store it like that and then just carry it upside down. I've also done the K8 MRT mod, which is to use a spare bit of shock cord through the top. It keeps the cap on. You shouldn't have to lose it, which I find quite easy. Then I've got my radials. So I've got 5 sets of radials, 5 sets of 4 wires each. I've got my 20 meter element. That's my 17 meter element, and then my 40 meter element. I do actually have in my bag as well a 10 meter element, but I haven't yet tested that. I only made it up last night, but I haven't yet tested it. And then over here, again taking inspiration from what Callum did in his recent video, I've got all the radial plates and the clamps all ready to go. Okay, so I've got the pole all extended. Now it's just to put the plates and the clamps down it. I also need to throw out the radials before I get the pole up in the air and put the guying pegs out. I've got radials laid out. I've just undone the guys and put out my guying pegs. Now it's time for the elements. Do the loop and pop that around there. I'm just going to run that back down the pole and tape it at a few convenient points down the way. There you go. Now I'm going to do the 20 and 17 meter elements. Okay, so I'm all set up, ready to go. I've got my IC705 plugged into a little battery down at the bottom of the LC192, which means I can run a full 10 watts from the radio. It's actually one of the little Meandy batteries, I think they're pronounced. Jason over on Ham Radio 2.0 did a review of either this battery or one very similar to it not long ago.
X-ray portable. Mike 0 Juliet, Sierra X-ray portable, CQ.
Mike 0 Juliet, Sierra X-ray portable. Roger, thank you. 59001, number 1, thank you.
Okay, Roger. Thank you for the call on 14, bye-bye.
73.
73. Sticky contest, Lima Yankee 4 Lima, London Yankee 4 London.
Mike 0, Juliet Sierra X-ray portable.
I'm 0, GSX portable. Hello, you're 59367.
Roger, thank you. 59002, number 2.
Thank you.
Mike 0, Juliet Sierra X-ray portable, QRP.
Mama 2, Victoria, Madrid. Lima Yankee 7 Kilo. Lima Yankee 7 Kilo. Good afternoon. 5 and 9 plus here in New Hampshire. Davis Mark, NARK. Lima Yankee 7 Kilo. I think I saw you were on CW a little while ago. K1 radio X-ray, over.
So there we are, all packed away. I've had to pack away fairly quickly as I've got to get back home. Unfortunately, didn't manage to make the QSO with the guy in the States, but hopefully next time. Do I think that the EZY Clamps make the install a lot easier? Definitely. Not having to carry a screwdriver out to fiddle around with hose clamps or Jubilee clips is fantastic, and highly recommend that. I'm going to make some adjustments to my antenna. I've got to the 20 metre shot cord, just slightly too short, which is a surprise, so I need to just get a longer section, and I need to shorten my 17 metre element. That's just a little bit on the long side, but unless we know these things, unless we put it on, we don't know these things. I'm going to try and get the antenna back up for CQ Worldwide in a couple of weekends time. I think that'd be nice and fun. I'll make some contacts with it then, and we'll see you on that one probably. Anyway, until next time, thanks very much for watching. There's another video off to my right, and I'll see you again soon. 73, bye bye.